Do you ever get this strange, unexplainable feeling like your heart is reaching out to someone, pulling you toward a person you can't get out of your mind? You don't know why, but there's this gnawing sense of longing and emotional energy that whispers he's thinking about you. What if I told you that this feeling isn't just in your head? That when he misses you, you might actually be feeling his emotions in ways you've never realized. If you've ever wondered what's really going on when he's missing you, stay with me, because we're about to uncover the truth. The connection between two people can be incredibly powerful, so powerful that even physical distance or silence can't erase it. And yet, so many of us ignore these subtle signs or doubt our own intuition, brushing it off as overthinking. Here's the truth. Love and emotional connections aren't simple. They're a dance of energy, timing, and vulnerability. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think if someone isn't saying they miss you outright, they don't feel it. The reality, he might be missing you so much it's affecting his thoughts, his actions, even his dreams. But here's the catch, he might not know how to show it. In this article, we'll walk through 7 deep, surprising ways you can actually feel when he misses you. These aren't just generic tips, they're rooted in emotional insight and practical advice, offering you a roadmap to understanding and even strengthening your bond with him. If you've ever wondered whether he's longing for you as much as you are for him, this will not only answer that question, but also shift the way you view connection, attraction, and love. Ready to find out what's been happening under the surface all along? Let's dive into the first feeling you might recognize when he's truly missing you. 1. You feel a quiet restlessness, like something's out of balance. Have you ever found yourself sitting in silence only to feel a sudden wave of unease wash over you? It's not panic, it's not sadness either, but more of a restlessness you can't explain. Almost like you've misplaced something valuable but can't figure out what. When he really misses you, this kind of energy has a way of crossing unseen boundaries and reaching you. Love, after all, is an energy exchange. When someone you're deeply connected to is longing for you, it's like their thoughts are tugging at the invisible strings that tie your hearts together. You might catch yourself fidgeting more, daydreaming, or struggling to focus on what's in front of you. And in those quiet moments, it's his presence or the absence of it that you're feeling. So why does this happen? Let's get a little deeper. Have you ever noticed that when you care about someone deeply, you pick up on their moods even when they're not around? That's not just your imagination, it's emotional resonance. When he's consumed by thoughts of you, that emotional energy doesn't just stay with him. It echoes outward, reaching you in subtle ways. This is where stoicism comes into play. It's about being in tune with your emotions, understanding them without being overwhelmed by them. By practicing this kind of emotional awareness, you can begin to decipher what you're feeling and why. Now, imagine this. He's sitting alone, replaying the last time he saw you, the sound of your laugh, the way your eyes lit up when he said something that mattered to you. He might not pick up the phone, but those feelings don't just disappear. They're like a ripple in the water, reaching out to you even if you're miles apart. And if you're still wondering, is this just wishful thinking? Consider this. Emotional connections have been proven to create a kind of shared psychological space. When someone is deeply focused on you, you're more likely to feel it in your own body and mind. But here's the twist, this restlessness isn't always just about him missing you. It's also about how you respond. Do you lean into that feeling, wondering if you should reach out? Or do you step back and let it simmer, trusting that time will reveal his intentions? Stoic dating can teach us a lot here. It's about balancing your emotions with a grounded sense of self-worth. You don't need to chase or force anything. Instead, embrace the restlessness as a sign of connection, but keep your energy centered. This leads to an important question. How can you tell the difference between him missing you and your own insecurities bubbling up? The answer lies in self-awareness. Take a moment to sit with the feeling. Ask yourself, is this restlessness rooted in fear, or is it tied to the bond we share? If it feels warm, nostalgic, even a little bittersweet, it's likely tied to him. But here's the real beauty of this feeling. It's a reminder that love isn't always about being together physically. Sometimes, It's about feeling each other's presence, even in the silence. When he misses you and you feel that quiet restlessness, it's a sign that your connection is strong enough to transcend words or actions. So the next time you catch yourself feeling this way, pause. Let the feeling wash over you. And instead of doubting it, ask yourself, what does this tell me about our connection? And more importantly, how do I want to respond? Whether it's sending him a thoughtful message or simply holding space for that bond, the choice is yours. 2. You start seeing him in everything around you, even when you're not looking for it. Have you ever walked through your day minding your own business, only to feel like he's everywhere? His favorite song comes on the radio, the smell of his cologne wafts past you in a random store, or you see someone who looks just like him in a crowded cafe. These moments aren't coincidences. They're echoes of your connection, reminders of the emotional bond you share. And when he's missing you deeply, these signs seem to multiply. Let's get one thing straight. Your mind isn't playing tricks on you. This phenomenon, known as selective attention, occurs when something or someone is taking up emotional space in your subconscious. When he's missing you, the energy he puts out has a way of pulling your focus toward things that remind you of him. It's almost as if the universe is conspiring to keep him in your thoughts, nudging you with little whispers of his presence. But here's the real question. Why does this happen? Why, when he's missing you, does it feel like you're the stop thinking about him? The answer lies in the way emotional connections create invisible pathways between two people. When he longs for you, it's not just a passive feeling. It's an active yearning, and that energy resonates like a quiet vibration, calling your attention in subtle ways. Think about it. When he's sitting there scrolling through old photos of you, or thinking about how much he wants to tell you something but can't find the right words, those thoughts create ripples. They may not be tangible, but they're real. Suddenly, the things you'd normally pass by without a second thought, like a movie you watch together, or the way the sun shines in a certain way, catch your attention. His energy is with you, even if you don't realize it. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever wondered why you suddenly remember specific moments with him when you weren't even thinking about him consciously? Maybe it's the way he smiled at you during that one perfect evening, or how he held your hand in a way that made you feel seen. These memories don't just appear out of nowhere. They're brought to the surface when someone's emotional energy reaches out to you. When he's missing you deeply, these moments are amplified, like a highlight reel playing on repeat in your mind. But here's where Stoicism offers a powerful perspective. Instead of letting these moments consume you, use them as a reminder of your own emotional depth and resilience. Stoic dating teaches us to appreciate these feelings without letting them overwhelm us. When you see signs of him everywhere, don't fall into the trap of overanalyzing or doubting yourself. Instead, acknowledge the connection, smile at the memory, and continue to stand firmly in your own emotional strength. Now, let's talk about the impact of these feelings. Seeing him in everything isn't just a reflection of your connection. It's also an opportunity to tune into what you want. Are these signs making you feel closer to him, or are they stirring up unresolved emotions? Understanding your reaction can help you decide what steps to take next. Should you reach out? Or should you sit with the feeling and let it guide you toward clarity? The beauty of Stoicism lies in embracing that choice with grace and self-assurance. And here's a truth that's easy to forget. He might be seeing you in everything too. He might hear your laugh in the middle of a quiet moment, or catch a glimpse of someone who reminds him of the way you brush your hair out of your face. This shared resonance is what makes love so profound. It's not just about proximity, it's about the way you inhabit each other's worlds, even when you're apart. So what should you do when you feel like you can't escape these signs? First, don't fight it. Instead of brushing it off or feeling overwhelmed, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what does this connection mean to me? If it's a bond worth nurturing, let the signs remind you of why he's so special. If it's a love that needs space to grow, honor that too. Either way, you're in control of your emotional experience. Let me ask you this. What's one sign that always makes you think of him? Is it a song? A scent? A shared memory? Comment number 1 below and tell me what resonates with you. Your stories could inspire someone else to see their own signs more clearly. If this video is making you reflect on your connection, hit the like button. Let me know you're here. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep diving into the beautiful, mysterious ways love shows up in our lives. There's so much more to uncover, and I promise it only gets better from here. 3. You feel a wave of emotion at unexpected moments. Picture this. You're in the middle of a busy day focused on work, errands, or even a simple walk in the park, when, out of nowhere, a wave of emotion crashes over you. It's not sadness exactly, though it might feel bittersweet. It's not joy either, though it might make you smile faintly. It's a quiet longing, a tender ache that seems to come from nowhere. If this sounds familiar, you might be feeling the weight of his thoughts about you. When he misses you deeply, it's as if his emotions travel an invisible thread between you, weaving their way into your day without warning. This isn't just a romantic notion, it's rooted in the science of emotional energy and human connection. People who share a strong bond can experience what's often referred to as emotional mirroring. His longing for you, his memories, his unspoken words, they ripple outward, and you, being tuned into that frequency, feel their echoes. But let's pause for a moment. Why does this happen? And why does it feel so intense? Love is, at its core, about vulnerability and resonance. When someone truly misses you, their emotions don't exist in isolation. They're expressed in ways they may not even understand, through the energy they emit, the actions they consider but don't take, and the way their thoughts linger on you. And because your connection with him is more than just surface level, your emotional radar picks up on these signals, even when you're not aware of it. Think about this. Have you ever been struck by a sudden memory of him so vivid it feels like he's right there? Maybe it's the way he used to tease you, or the way his hand felt when it brushed against yours. These memories don't surface randomly. They're tied to the emotional energy between you, especially when he's missing you so deeply that his thoughts almost reach out to yours. It's not magic, it's connection. So how does this affect you? And what can you do about it? The first step is recognizing that these emotions are a sign of your shared bond, not a weakness or a sign that you're clinging to the past. Embrace the feeling instead of resisting it. When you feel that sudden rush of emotion, pause. Sit with it. Ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? It might be a reminder of how special your connection is, or it could be an invitation to reflect on what you want moving forward. It's also important to acknowledge that feeling emotional waves when someone misses you doesn't always mean you should act on them. In Stoic Dating, the key is balance. Stoicism teaches us to honor our emotions without letting them control us. If you feel an emotional pull, let it remind you of the depth of your connection, but stay grounded in your own sense of self. You don't need to chase or react impulsively. Instead, trust that if the bond is strong, time and intention will naturally bring clarity. Let's dive a little deeper into why these emotional waves often feel so overwhelming. Missing someone is, in many ways, an act of remembering. When he thinks of you, he's likely revisiting your shared moments, the laughter, the quiet conversations, the way you made him feel understood. And when those memories surface for him, they're not just passive thoughts. They're emotional experiences that stir up longing and nostalgia. It's this intensity that travels to you, creating that wave you feel out of nowhere. But here's the thing. These moments of emotional connection can also be transformative. They're not just signs of longing, they're opportunities for growth. When you feel this wave of emotion, ask yourself what it's teaching you about your own desires and needs. Are you missing him too, or are you feeling his emotions because of the closeness you once shared? Understanding the source of your feelings can help you navigate them with clarity and strength. And let's not forget, he's likely feeling these waves too. While you're sitting at your desk or walking through the grocery store, lost in thought about him, he might be somewhere else, feeling the exact same tug of emotion. The beauty of a strong connection is that it's never one-sided. When he misses you deeply, he's experiencing the same longing, the same vivid memories that take him back to the moments that mattered most. This shared emotional experience is what makes love so powerful. It bridges distance and silence, reminding both of you of what you've built together. But let's not romanticize this too much. Feeling these waves of emotion doesn't mean the relationship is perfect, or that everything will fall into place without effort. Love is complex, and connections require work. What these moments do offer is a glimpse into the strength of your bond. They remind you that emotions are worth exploring, not running from. They show you that even when words go unspoken, feelings have a way of making themselves known. If you're wondering how to navigate these moments, here's something to keep in mind. Let them guide you, but don't let them define you. When you feel that rush of emotion, take a deep breath and ground yourself. You might choose to journal about it, call a friend, or simply sit with the feeling until it passes. By embracing the emotion without being consumed by it, you're honoring both your connection with him and your own emotional resilience. One last thought to leave you with. These emotional waves are a testament to the depth of human connection. They remind us that love isn't just about proximity or constant communication. It's about the invisible threads that tie two hearts together, even when they're apart. When he misses you deeply, and you feel it in those unexpected moments, it's a sign that your bond is alive and meaningful. So the next time you're caught off guard by a sudden wave of emotion, don't brush it off. Let it remind you of the power of love and connection. And most importantly, let it remind you of your own strength, because to feel so deeply is to truly live. 4. You catch yourself smiling or feeling a sudden warmth, even without a reason. Have you ever had one of those moments where, without warning, a soft smile spreads across your face and you can't quite explain why? Or perhaps it's an unexpected warmth that rises in your chest, leaving you feeling lighter, almost peaceful. These fleeting moments of happiness often carry a deeper meaning, especially when someone who cares deeply for you is missing you. Let's explore this feeling. Why would his thoughts of you spark a physical or emotional response on your end? It all comes back to connection and energy. When someone is thinking about you with affection, longing, or even love, that energy has a way of resonating. It's like an invisible thread pulling at your heartstrings, sending a gentle reminder of the bond you share. Think about it. When someone has made you laugh until your sides hurt, looked at you in a way that made you feel truly seen, or shared moments of vulnerability that built trust between you, those memories don't just live in the past. They linger in the present, surfacing when least expected. And when he's missing you, his emotional energy stirs those memories within you, sparking a sudden warmth or quiet joy. But why does it often happen when you're not actively thinking about him? The answer lies in your subconscious mind. Emotional connections create pathways in your brain, mapping the shared experiences and emotions tied to that person. When he's missing you deeply, your subconscious picks up on it, even if you're busy with something else, and delivers that little burst of warmth as a subtle nudge. It's almost like your heart knows something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. So what does it mean when this happens? Should you act on it? First, let's appreciate the beauty of these moments. That smile, that warmth, is a testament to the connection you've built. It's a reminder that love doesn't always need grand gestures or constant communication to thrive. Sometimes it's about the quiet ways you inhabit each other's worlds, even from afar. But let's get personal. When was the last time you caught yourself smiling at the thought of him? Was it a memory that floated into your mind, like the time he told you something silly and made you laugh uncontrollably? Or was it the realization of how deeply he cares for you, even if he doesn't always show it in words? These moments are precious because they remind you of the emotional richness of your bond. And don't forget, he might be experiencing the same thing. Maybe he's out with friends or stuck in traffic when suddenly a memory of you lights up his thoughts, making him smile. He might remember the way you tilted your head when you were listening to him, or how your presence made his day better without you even trying. These small moments, these bursts of joy, are proof that the connection between you is alive and vibrant. Let's pause here for a moment. How does this realization make you feel? Does it stir excitement, hope, or maybe even curiosity about what he's thinking right now? This is where Stoicism offers an interesting perspective. Stoicism teaches us to cherish what we can control, our actions, our emotions, while accepting what we can't. When you feel this sudden warmth, you don't need to overanalyze or rush to respond. Instead, savor it. Let it remind you of the beauty of human connection without losing your own grounding. Here's the thing. These moments aren't just about him missing you. They're also about you recognizing your own capacity to love and be loved. That smile you catch yourself wearing, it's a reflection of your openness, your ability to connect on a deeper level. And that's a gift worth celebrating, regardless of where the relationship stands. But let's not ignore the practical side of things. When you feel this sudden joy, it might be worth considering what you want to do with it. Should you send him a message? Should you let it pass and wait to see if he reaches out? There's no right or wrong answer here, only what feels true to you. The key is to act from a place of self-assurance, not uncertainty. If the connection is meaningful, you don't need to force anything. It will unfold naturally in its own time. So, what should you take away from these moments of unexpected warmth? First, know that they're real and meaningful. When he's missing you, the bond you share has a way of making itself known, even when words are left unspoken. Second, use these moments as an opportunity to reflect on your feelings and desires. Are you happy with where things are? Do you feel ready to take the next step, or does this connection need more time and space to grow? Let these questions guide you, not pressure you. Lastly, let these moments remind you of your own worth. The fact that someone is missing you deeply, enough to stir these feelings in both of you, is a reflection of the value you bring to their life. You are memorable, impactful, and important. Don't underestimate the power of that. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like and comment number 1 if this feeling has ever happened to you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to explore about love, connection, and the invisible threads that tie us together. Let's keep this journey going because the best is yet to come. 5. You feel drawn to certain memories, almost as if they're calling to you. Have you ever found yourself replaying specific memories of him, almost like a movie in your mind? Moments that you hadn't thought about in ages suddenly resurface, pulling you back into the warmth, the joy, or even the vulnerability you felt when you were together. It's as though these memories have been dusted off, brought back to life by something unseen. When he's missing you deeply, it's often these very moments that call to you, not because you're stuck in the past, but because those memories are part of the emotional bridge that connects you both. Let's explore why this happens. Memory is a powerful thing. It's not just a record of the past, it's a living, breathing part of who we are. When you share meaningful experiences with someone, those moments become etched into your emotional landscape like constellations in the night sky. And when he's missing you, his thoughts often return to those same moments. The way you laughed during that spontaneous road trip, the way your eyes softened when you told him something vulnerable, or the quiet moments you shared without needing to say a word. His focus on those memories creates a kind of energy that reverberates through your connection, bringing those moments to life in your mind as well. But why certain memories and not others? Why does your mind keep circling back to that one specific evening or that one perfect conversation? The answer lies in the emotional significance of those moments. When we experience something deeply meaningful, our brains encode not just the facts of the moment, but also the emotions tied to it. These emotional markers make certain memories more vivid and accessible, especially when someone else is actively focusing on them. Here's a thought. When he's missing you, he's likely replaying those same moments, revisiting the way you made him feel, seen, understood, alive. And in a strange yet beautiful way, his focus on those memories acts like a beacon, drawing your own thoughts back to the same place. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a phenomenon grounded in the way emotional energy works. When two people share a strong bond, their emotions and thoughts often align in surprising ways, even when they're apart. So what should you do when these memories start calling to you? First, let them in. There's no need to fight or suppress them. These moments are a part of your story, a testament to the connection you've built. But instead of getting lost in nostalgia, take a moment to reflect on what these memories mean to you now. Are they reminders of love that still feels alive and real? Or are they glimpses into a chapter that's closed but still carries meaning? This is where Stoicism offers a valuable perspective. Instead of clinging to these memories or letting them dictate your emotions, you can choose to appreciate them for what they are, fragments of beauty, connection, and growth. Stoicism teaches us to honor the past without being controlled by it, to find strength in reflection without losing sight of the present. When you feel drawn to these memories, embrace them as part of your journey, but keep your focus on the here and now. Now let's consider the impact these memories might have on him. When he's missing you, he's likely holding on to these moments as a way to feel close to you, even from a distance. The memories he replays aren't random. They're the ones that made him feel most connected to you, most understood. And as he revisits them, he may wonder if you're thinking of them too. This mutual longing, even if unspoken, is what keeps your bond alive. But here's the key: memories are only one part of the equation. While they're beautiful and meaningful, they're not a substitute for action or growth. If these moments are drawing you back to him, consider what they're telling you about your desires and needs. Are they encouraging you to reach out, to rebuild, or to simply cherish what you had while moving forward? There's no right or wrong answer, only what feels true to you. At the same time, recognize the power these memories hold to shape your perspective. When you're drawn to the best moments of your connection, it's easy to romanticize the past, focusing only on the highlights while glossing over the challenges. If you find yourself getting lost in the glow of nostalgia, take a step back and ask yourself, am I remembering the full picture? This kind of reflection can help you honor the past without idealizing it, keeping you grounded in reality. And here's something to keep in mind: memories aren't just about the past, they're also a reflection of what's possible. If you're drawn to memories of love, laughter, and connection, it's because those things are still important to you. They're reminders of what you value, what you're capable of creating, and what you deserve in your relationships. So the next time a memory of him surfaces, don't push it away. Let it unfold like a letter from the past. Take a moment to feel the emotions it stirs, then ask yourself, what is this memory trying to tell me? Whether it's a reminder of love worth nurturing or a lesson about what you want moving forward, these moments of reflection can be incredibly powerful. Lastly, remember that these memories are a shared experience. While you're replaying that one perfect evening in your mind, he might be doing the same. The connection between you isn't just about proximity or communication. It's about the way you've woven yourselves into each other's lives, creating a tapestry of moments that continue to resonate. So let these memories remind you of the beauty of connection, the power of love, and the strength you carry within you. Because no matter where the journey takes you, these moments are a part of who you are, and that's something no distance or time can ever erase. 6. You feel like reaching out, even when it's out of the blue. Have you ever felt an undeniable urge to reach out to him, even when it doesn't seem logical or planned? Maybe you're scrolling through your phone and his name catches your eye, or you're in the middle of your day and suddenly you think, what would he say about this? Should I text him? That pull, that almost magnetic force, isn't just a random occurrence. When he's missing you deeply, it can create a reciprocal energy that makes you feel the need to connect with him. But let's pause and ask the important question. Why does this happen? Why does his longing for you spark this overwhelming desire to break the silence? The answer lies in the emotional connection you share. When someone is thinking about you intensely, especially with feelings of love, nostalgia, or longing, it's not uncommon for you to feel it too. It's as if his energy reaches out to you, pulling at the invisible strings that tie your hearts together. Here's the fascinating part. This isn't just emotional, it's biological too. Studies in psychology and neuroscience suggest that emotional connections create neural pathways in the brain. When you share meaningful experiences with someone, your brain becomes wired to associate certain feelings, thoughts, or triggers with them. So when he's thinking about you, his energy can activate those pathways in your mind, prompting that sudden urge to reach out. But what should you do with this feeling? Should you act on it, or should you let it pass? This is where Stoicism offers valuable guidance. Stoic dating isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about mastering them. It teaches us to pause, reflect, and act intentionally rather than impulsively. When you feel that urge to reach out, ask yourself, why do I want to connect with him right now? Is it because you genuinely want to share something meaningful, or is it driven by a need for reassurance or validation? Understanding your motivation can help you decide whether to take the next step. Let's be honest, reaching out can feel vulnerable. There's always that nagging thought, what if he doesn't respond? But here's the truth. If the connection between you is strong, your message won't be unwelcome. In fact, if he's missing you deeply, hearing from you might feel like a lifeline, a moment of joy in the middle of his longing. And even if he doesn't respond in the way you hope, your act of reaching out is a testament to your courage and emotional authenticity. Now, let's shift perspective for a moment. Imagine how he might be feeling when he's missing you. Maybe he's staring at his phone, wondering if he should be the one to text first. Maybe he's replaying your last conversation in his mind, trying to find the right words to express what he's feeling. The pull you're experiencing, the urge to connect, is likely mirrored on his end too. When two people share a deep bond, their emotions often resonate with each other, even across distance or silence. But what if you decide not to reach out? Does that mean you're ignoring the connection? Absolutely not. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is honor the bond without feeling the need to act on it immediately. If you feel the pull to reach out but aren't ready, take a moment to reflect on what you're feeling. Write down your thoughts or simply sit with them. This practice can help you process your emotions while staying grounded in your own strength. At the same time, recognize that not every urge to connect needs to result in a grand gesture. Reaching out doesn't always mean sending a long, heartfelt message or starting a deep conversation. Sometimes, it's as simple as sharing a photo that reminded you of him, sending a quick "this made me think of you," or even reacting to something he's posted. These small acts can carry just as much meaning, especially when they come from a place of authenticity. But let's also talk about the fear of rejection. This fear is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. When you act from a place of self-assurance, you're not seeking approval or validation, you're simply expressing yourself. And here's a secret. Vulnerability, when paired with confidence, is incredibly attractive. It shows him that you're open to connection without being dependent on it. If he's missing you deeply, your message will feel like a gift, not an intrusion. Now, let's bring this back to you. What do you want to feel when you reach out? Joy? Closure? A renewed sense of connection? Whatever it is, make sure your actions align with your intentions. If your goal is to reignite the bond between you, let your message reflect that. If your goal is simply to share a moment of kindness, let it be light and easy. The key is to approach the connection with honesty and clarity. And don't forget, reaching out isn't just about him, it's also about you. It's about honoring your own feelings and taking a step that feels true to who you are. Whether he responds or not, the act of reaching out can be a powerful reminder of your courage, your depth, and your ability to connect meaningfully. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you felt that pull to reach out? Did you act on it, or did you let it pass? Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Like in comment number 1 if you've ever felt this magnetic pull to connect with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next part of this journey. We're only scratching the surface of how love, connection, and emotional energy shape our lives. Let's keep exploring together. 7. You sense an unspoken connection that feels stronger than words. There are moments in life when words fail to capture what you feel, when the connection between you and another person transcends language, explanation, or even logic. When he's missing you deeply, this unspoken connection can feel almost tangible, as if his presence lingers around you even when he's not there. It's in the quiet moments, the pauses in your day where you feel him close, not in a haunting way, but in a way that feels warm, comforting, and undeniable. This kind of connection is rare. It's not the product of fleeting infatuation or shallow interaction. It's the result of emotional depth, shared moments, and a bond that has been nurtured over time. When someone truly cares for you and longs for you, the energy they project has a way of reaching you. You might not see it or hear it, but you feel it. Let's talk about why this happens. Human connections operate on multiple levels: physical, emotional, mental, and energetic. While most of us focus on the physical or verbal aspects of relationships, it's the unseen energy that often binds us most deeply. When he's missing you, his thoughts, emotions, and desires create a ripple effect that you can sense, even if he's miles away. It's not magic, it's the power of connection. Have you ever experienced this? Maybe you're sitting alone, and you feel a sudden sense of calm, almost as if someone is holding you in their thoughts. Or perhaps you wake up from a dream about him, one that feels so vivid it's as if he was right there with you. These moments aren't coincidences. They're reflections of the bond you share, a silent dialogue happening between your hearts. But what makes this unspoken connection so powerful? It's the way it bypasses logic and goes straight to your soul. You don't need to see him or hear from him to know he's thinking of you. It's in the way your thoughts drift to him unexpectedly, or the way his name seems to echo in your mind. This is a connection that doesn't rely on constant communication. It thrives on the energy and emotions you've shared. Here's something to consider. He's likely feeling this connection too. While you're sitting there wondering why he's so present in your thoughts, he might be feeling the same way about you. This kind of mutual longing creates a loop of energy where your emotions feed into his and vice versa. It's not about who reaches out first or who says what. It's about the undeniable truth that you're both on each other's minds, even when you don't realize it. But let's not romanticize this connection without acknowledging its challenges. Feeling this unspoken bond can be both beautiful and bittersweet. It's a reminder of how deeply you care for someone, but it can also stir up questions. What do I do with this feeling? Does he feel the same way? Where do we go from here? These are valid questions, and the answers aren't always clear. This is where Stoicism offers a guiding light. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot control while focusing on what we can. You can't force him to act on his feelings, just as he can't dictate yours. But what you can do is honor the connection without letting it consume you. When you sense his presence, let it be a reminder of the love and care you've shared, but don't let it hold you back from living fully in the present. Now, let's get practical. How do you navigate this unspoken connection in a way that feels balanced and healthy? First, recognize it for what it is, a sign of the bond you share, not a call to action. You don't need to rush to interpret every feeling or turn it into a decision. Instead, let it unfold naturally. If the connection is strong, it will guide you both toward clarity in its own time. Second, use this connection as an opportunity for self-reflection. What does it tell you about your feelings, your needs, and your desires? Are you longing for closure, or are you holding on to hope for something more? These moments of introspection can be incredibly valuable, helping you understand yourself on a deeper level. Third, don't be afraid to honor the connection in quiet, personal ways. Maybe it's lighting a candle and sending a silent thought of gratitude for the bond you share. Maybe it's journaling about how you feel or revisiting a memory that brings you peace. These small acts of mindfulness can help you process your emotions while keeping you grounded. But perhaps the most important thing to remember is this: an unspoken connection is only as meaningful as the actions that come from it. While it's beautiful to feel this bond, relationships thrive on communication, effort, and mutual understanding. If you sense that the connection is pulling you both closer, consider how you can translate those feelings into something tangible. Whether it's a conversation, a gesture, or simply a moment of honesty, the bond you share deserves to be nurtured in the real world, not just in your heart. Let me leave you with one final thought. This unspoken connection isn't a weakness or a sign of dependency. It's a reflection of the depth of your love and your ability to connect on a level that goes beyond words. It's a reminder that some bonds are so profound, they defy explanation. And while it's easy to get caught up in the mystery of it all, Don't forget to cherish the fact that you've experienced something so rare and meaningful. Because at the end of the day, it's these connections that make life rich, beautiful, and unforgettable. The feelings you've experienced, whether it's the pull of memories, the sudden warmth of joy, or the unspoken connection that seems to echo between your hearts, are all part of the intricate dance of love and longing. They're not random, they're powerful reminders of the depth of your emotions and the bond you share with him. When someone misses you deeply, it's not just a fleeting thought, it's an energy that bridges the distance, touching you in ways words never could. But here's the most important truth. These feelings, as beautiful and profound as they are not the sum of who you are. They're a reflection of the love you've experienced, but your worth doesn't depend on whether someone else feels that same pull. You are whole, complete, and extraordinary on your own. The connections you form with others are part of your journey, but they don't define it. Take the lessons of Stoicism to heart. Honor your emotions, but don't let them control you. Cherish your connections, but don't lose yourself in them. Let these moments of longing remind you of your strength, your ability to love deeply, and your resilience to move forward with grace, whether that means building a stronger bond or choosing to walk your own path. If this journey has resonated with you, I hope it's reminded you of the beauty of feeling deeply and staying true to yourself. Love isn't about clinging to someone else for happiness, it's about sharing your light with someone who truly values it. And even if that connection feels distant at times, trust that what's meant for you will always find its way back. As we close this chapter together, I want to thank you for joining me on this exploration of love, connection, and the invisible threads that tie us all together. Don't forget to subscribe to stay part of this journey, and remember, you are stronger, braver, and more magnetic than you realize. Until next time, take care of your heart, trust your instincts, and keep shining brightly. The world and the people who truly care for you will always be drawn to your light.